Hey, good afternoon. Happy Thursday. That's when I'll probably be downloading this video. It's Daryl here. It's not bright and early. It's not 3 a.m. It's actually noon Wednesday. Here I am on my mountain bike. And I want to talk a little bit about Elon Musk and Trump supporters. I got some thoughts. So, like I said, this will probably be downloaded Thursday morning. All right, so I've been giving this some thought, and the thing that really sticks in my mind is a comment, and I found this has actually been proof, reality checked or whatever on Snopes or whatever, that Elon Musk actually did say this, that empathy is the downfall of the modern American civilization. I'm kind of paraphrasing there, but he did say that. I'll put a link down below. And I'm big on empathy. Since I've been in recovery, empathy is a big part of my life, and I think it's made my life much better, much more peace of mind. Here's some thoughts I have, okay? You look at the Trump supporters, and I look at comments online. I constantly, because I want to know what they're thinking. I want to know how they could possibly be so in support of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of American citizens being laid off, and the way that they seem to have absolutely no empathy for them. I mean, they look at them, they've dehumanized them. You hear about dehumanization, like during wars, when soldiers act like they dehumanize their enemy, so that way it's easier to shoot people, to do what you have to do in war. You tend to dehumanize people. And that's what I see going on with the people that are getting laid off. A lot of them, a good percentage of them, are veterans. A good percentage of them are more than likely Trump supporters, or were Trump supporters. So I look at the Conservative Party, the Republican Party, and you look back to the early 1970s, and those of you my age know what I'm talking about. It was a show, a sitcom in the early 1970s called All in the Family, and there was a character called Archie Bunker, and he was a hardcore conservative. And if you actually watch that show, if you just watch any clips of it, it's amazing, because you'll see so many similarities to Archie Bunker and the whole MAGA group today. I'm saying a lot of the same stuff, but here's a big difference. Archie Bunker, there's episodes where he stood up against Nazis, and he stood up against that group that wears pillowcases on their heads. I got to be careful what I say here on this monetized channel. There's actually an episode where he turned on them at his own peril, at his risk of physical injury, and he would not go along because they wanted to burn a cross on his stepson's lawn, and he just had a granddaughter that would see it, and he got got upset, of course. But this is where Trump supporters have de-evolved even further, where there's some of Musk's teen hackers that actually have posted that they are proudly racist. And these are the people that are taking a chainsaw to our services. Now, that's another thing I want to talk about quick. I think it's becoming more and more obvious that the American democracy was never meant to be run as a business. That was the big thing back in 2016. He's a businessman, he'll run it like a business. And I think it's becoming more and more obvious that it was never meant to be a business. It was meant to be a service. It provides services that we pay for. It was meant to aid in our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, where we pay for some extra services and pay for the people who are less fortunate among us. I don't have a problem with that at all, having empathy. The people today, I think they're so ravenous when they see these job cuts, and like I said, they don't even look at these people. They're not even like these are American citizens losing their jobs. And I see these comments on Facebook and in the paper, and they have absolutely no empathy. They're drooling to get a piece of the so-called savings, like as if we're ever going to see anybody's ever going to see that. They're drooling to get a cut of the paychecks that used to support these families. The lack of empathy is mind-numbing here. How they look at these people, and look at these people getting laid off as less than people. That's what scares me. That's what I have such a hard time comprehending. I think any person with some logic there's nothing wrong with cutting fat, with cutting waste and bureaucracy. But logic would dictate that you don't just clear cut whole agencies, like half the Department of Education, the Oceanic NOAH, the Ocean Atmospheric Agency. I mean, and they've actually had to go back and rehire a lot of these people. The airport workers, the nuclear watchdogs, the people that watch our nuclear sites. They had to go back, So what they're doing is just clear cutting these agencies without any regard to who they're firing. And you don't even run a business like that. Like I said, I don't believe that this government was ever intended to be run as a business, even in the first place. But the lack of empathy is the thing that just shocks me. Here's the thing, and I've learned this in my 59 years on this earth. Just because you or your family isn't unfortunate today, you're not one of the unfortunate ones, you don't have somebody that's has brain damage, God forbid, in a hospital bed, or has cancer, or you're not homeless, you haven't lost your home or your job and stuff like that. Don't think for 1 second that things could change next month, next year. This is something I've learned in my 59 years. Never underestimate the cruelty of fate and just the way things work. Murphy's Law, whatever you want to call it. Just keep that in mind. If you can't scrape up some empathy, just keep in mind that someday, some month, next year, it could easily. I did a video talking about this, how I lost my father. It could easily be you. Maybe that'll work for you. Maybe you'll be able to scrape up a little empathy or a little compassion for hardworking Americans that are being thrown out of their jobs willy-nilly. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, you guys. Have a good Thursday.